What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Leave It to the Judges MMA show. I'm here with Xavier and Clark. We're a little early on this, guys, but there's not a whole lot of UFC news going on. We're going to be previewing UFC 304 in London. Edwards versus Mohammed 2. Guys, we are not casuals. We do respect the women's MMA, the two main events coming up, but let's be real. Y'all don't want to see us covering that. We're covering UFC 304 early. Let's get to the main event, guys. We're going to start us off. Bilal versus Edwards 2. Absolutely zero hype behind this fight, but talk to me how you guys feel about this fight.
I mean, I feel like it's long overdue for Bilal to get his title shot so he can shut the fuck up about it. I mean, it's time for Bilal to put up or shut up. I thought that Leon was like well on his way seemingly to beating him in their first fight before the little eye poke. So, I mean, it wasn't like Bilal was doing too hot in that fight. So maybe having been in there with Leon, he can apply a slightly different strat. But I feel like Bilal has a straightforward game. And I mean, like, I don't know how much he can really deviate from that plan. I kind of see Leon, honestly, if he can, if Leon's cardio holds up, I see him kind of like outstriking Bilal for like 5 rounds, honestly. But maybe Bilal can have some late success in rounds 3 and 4 if like he can secure some early takedowns and top pressure.
Let's hear it, Clark. I see that smirk on your face.
What you got to say, Clark?
I mean, that was very nice. That was very nice.
I'm trying to be professional. I'm trying to be professional.
No. Leon's fight. There's no doubt in my mind, Bilal. You losing this. It's gonna be bad. I believe a TKO about around round 4, I'd say, in that area. I think Leon's just a level above, honestly. And I think he's proven to have great takedown defense at this point. And Bilal, even though he's been doing his training with Khabib in Islam, they ain't gonna save him because it's Bilal. Because it's Bilal. This is Bilal, and he gonna lose. Like, there's no chance the most boring fighter on the planet's about to win the ship over Leon. Like, there's no chance. Like, Leon's won 12 straight. Like, he's in his prime right now. Like, he's on fire. I just don't see it. Like, Bilal's only chance is getting a takedown as well. Like, he's not winning this on the feet whatsoever. So
I agree.
Leon just stuffs the takedowns like he has been doing the last few fights. He's gonna win. But at the end of the day, gentlemen, it doesn't matter. Shavkat Rakhmonov is your champion. The best pound fighter in the world.
Just is that?
Yeah, the best per pound.
That's crazy words.
that's a hot take.
Hey, no boxer in history has 18 straight KOs, I bet. This man got 18 straight finishes, so that's all I gotta say.
They're not all KOs, but I feel you.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I for sure think Leon's gonna win this fight just based off the first fight. He rocked him with a head kick. He was just also much bigger than Bilal. I think people forget how big Leon is. He's also he's taller. Has more range. I don't think the wrestling will be an issue at all, just because the past 2 fights, Leon fought a far superior wrestlers, in my opinion, in Colby and Usman. I disagree with you guys. I think Bilal's biggest way to win this fight is kind of how he beat Burns and Brady, just kind of putting a pace on Leon for 25 minutes that he can't handle. I'm not saying that's going to happen at all. I'm just saying, like, that's his path to victory. I don't see.
I agree. That's what I said. Like, the only way I see him potentially winning is like gassing Leon out in rounds 3 and 4 and like maybe finding a finish somewhere. Yeah. I feel like no way he's going to be up on rounds, like, honestly, but yeah, I can see, like, because I have seen Leon gas. Like, let's not be honest. I mean, let's be honest here. Like, even in that last, like, he's still dangerous, but even in that second Usman fight, like, He was pretty gassed. Like that pace that Usman was putting was whooping his ass like for a couple rounds there. So if Bilal can just do that and not get head kicked, then he may have a path. But Leon has seemingly made some takedown defense adjustments since then, and he's looked a lot better. So
Yeah.
a lot harder of a task.
And I could even see Edwards doing some offensive grappling. I think he's improved vastly on that. I'm just trying not to make it seem like just fuck Bilal. I'm trying to give him a little credit here, but he's
I'm
getting
trying
dusted.
my best. I'm trying my best. I see Clark over here looking at us like, why are
You're
you
crazy.
right there? Like, I'm just trying to like the man did work his way up to number two.
Oh
Like
no, not mentioning the Burns performance, crazy. Like Burns was off one arm for
No,
fuck.
I know. But like what else am I supposed to reference? Like I don't know what else to
He
reference.
outstruck him by like 8 strikes per round. Like he did do just throwing a body kick. Like a body kick won him that fight. Congrats. There you go.
But yeah, I see no path of victory for Bilal. Like even if he tries standing up on the feet like that, he's just gonna get outworked, outboxed, outkicked, out-kneed, out everything.
And he would lose the shot god even if he gives it up.
minus 192, kind of a steal. I'm not gonna lie. I bet it jumps up to like minus 240 by fight night
It
for
is
him.
a skill. It is maybe.
Bilal gonna get booed out the building, bro.
Yeah, 195. That's decent.
So Clark,
Even look, it's decent.
before we move on, where did this hatred stem from? Where did this vile hatred stem from?
I mean, he might not be running his Twitter account, but he talks a lot of smack, acting like he's this knockout artist. A lot like Sean Strickland, who never finishes anyone either. Boring fighter. But
Oh man.
like, I mean, he doesn't do anything. Bilal Muhammad is more like I'll give Aljo credit. He's more exciting than that man.
I
Like
agree.
I'll say. Like Bilal Muhammad, the most boring fighter in the UFC, low key.
Damn.
Like he's on that list,
Okay.
and that's why I don't like him because he
But he
talks.
gets wins and they look terrible. He
Yeah,
grinds out
exactly,
wins. Same.
exactly. It's just terrible. Like if he were to fight Shavkat right now for the title shot, he would get whooped, and that's all there is.
All right. Yeah, one more thing, man. I was not. I know everyone talks about how shitty Colby was in the last fight against Leon, but as a Leon fan, man, I also have to critique Leon. I was not impressed by his performance really at all, considering how shit Colby looked. I saw so many openings for Leon to drop his ass. He talked all that shit about his dead dad. I felt like there was a lot of bad blood, and Leon just kind of glided to a decision. He seemed too content. So this fight, I'm expecting a nasty Leon at home. He's going to get a vicious knockout in the third round.
That's bold, but I like it. I would love to see that personally. Like it would be like, good on the Leon storybook. Like it'll look good on his resume for sure.
Alrighty though. Xavier, why don't you take the lead on our heavyweight co-main event? Walk us through it, and yeah.
Here we go, man. Meteor Pride up. We got my boy Curtis Blades. Shout out Curtis Blades. Curtis Razor fucking Blades, man. That's the boy. Versus Tom Aspinall, who some would argue is the real heavyweight champ. Not me, of course.
Yeah, what does the John Jones fan think about that?
Daddy's still home at the top of the division for Tom Aspinall. But at the end of the day, he will wait his turn like everyone else. But if he even gets a turn. But in the meantime, I respect to Aspinall for defending the interim title to kind of like not hold the division up to a certain extent. So respect to Tom. I guess he definitely could just sit on this heavyweight title and just kind of wait for John or just for anything, you know what I mean? But he's like, nah, it's better to stay active. He's in his prime. Like, might as well build his resume. Plus, Curtis Blades technically has that victory over him. The fight was over pretty quick, and it was like, a little fluky on the injury side. But I mean, Curtis Blades was landing some fucking punches in that biz. Like when they were exchanging, like John Jones wasn't wrong when he tweeted that Curtis Blades was getting the better of the striking exchanges for like as short lived as it was. So I mean, I love this fight. I'm probably a little more excited for this fight than the main event, to be quite honest with you. Just because if Blades can like shock the world and like beat Aspinall, which I feel like it's very possible. Like Aspinall, for all his victories, like kind of unproven in the octagon to a certain extent. He hasn't been tested like that. Like we haven't seen him extend it long. So, like, granted, it's because he's knocking people out, but still, like, what if Curtis Blades can, you know what I mean, drag this into deep waters? Like, what if his wrestling, he can get on top of him? Like, we need to see these things. Like, we hear about Tom Aspinall's ground game, but like, I feel like we're gonna see that tested in this fight if Curtis Blades decides to wrestle at least.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Clark.
Okay, okay. That was very nice. I like that shirt, by the way, they designed.
Yes, sir.
Um, Shout out Curtis Blades, fan of the channel. I respect him. I think this is a very poor matchup, personally. And I hate to say it. I really do. I just feel like usually like Blades 18-4. I didn't even know that low key, but his only losses are to was it Francis twice?
Volkov.
And Derek Lewis.
He didn't lose to Volkov.
I think he lost a decision to him.
He beat Volkov. He
Nah.
definitely he out wrestled him, but like it was like a main event. He out wrestled him, but like the whole fight.
Check. No, I'm pretty sure he lost. I'll double check, but you can keep going.
Where is Blade? Okay, but I mean he's oh no, it was Pavlovich. It was Pavlovich.
Yeah, Pavlovich. Yeah.
Yeah. He
Oh, I
lost.
am my mistake.
Yeah,
You're right, Clark.
yeah, he lost to Pavlovich, Derek Lewis, and Francis twice.
Facts.
We
Roman
loses
Russian.
to big punchers, and my issue is here. Tom is a big puncher who just knocked out Pavlovich not too long ago. And I feel like Blades will stay long on the feet enough to where, I mean, Tom a good wrestler too. Like, and he is kind of unproven against a much better wrestler in Blades, but I feel like he's just him. I think he's too good right now. And I think John Jones kind of lucky he's not gonna be able to fight him. That's all I gotta say there. I would pick John Jones just because he's the GOAT, but I think Tom Aspinall might be the man right now to maybe beat him if I were to pick someone.
I mean, there's always a guy though, right? Is there not? Like when you're at the top for so long, everyone's always looking for the next guy. Like there is a good chance that like, Curtis Blades goes out here, extends the wrestling, extends the grappling, and like proves him to be kind of a not a fraud, but you know what I mean? Kind of a fraud, you know what I mean? Like there's a chance. That's why we watch, Clark. That's why we watch.
Yeah,
Do
it's
I
just
think that? Do I think that's gonna happen necessarily? No.
I'm
Uh,
gonna root for Blades. I'm gonna root for
do I
him.
think that Blades is like rightfully the underdog in this fight? Yes, based on Tom's body of work recently, especially. But at the same, and to be quite frank with you, I was not too impressed with Blades' last outing against Almeida, even though he got the dub. Like he was getting wrestle fucked for like round one, which I was kind of surprised about. So, but I don't think that this fight's gonna play out like that. I think it might eventually. I think that if anyone's gonna initiate the grappling, it might be Blades in this fight.
I
Um, but because I do think Aspinall's a little crisper on the feet, maybe a lot crisper on the feet. But Blaze has definitely made a lot of improvements up there. So I think that like it's heavyweight, man. Anything can happen, baby. Anything can happen.
Aspinall has finished every single one of his wins in the UFC, and Curtis Blades. Usually, my issue with him is just his fight IQ. Like, kind of in the Pavlovich fight, he kind of just opted to stay on the feet, got fucked up. I feel like it was kind of similar to the Derek Lewis fight. I don't think that'll be an issue for this fight. It's a title fight, but First of all, I got to rewatch the first fight based on what you were saying, Xavier, because I honestly I've never rewatched it, so
It
definitely gotta
lasted
check that out.
20 seconds.
But it's just Aspinall. He just seems invincible right now. Like I low key would probably pick him to beat even John Jones at this point. I hate to say it, but I would. Man, there's just like we haven't seen any kinks in his armor besides that injury, but yeah, I think Curtis Blades, like you said, Xavier, his avenue is to drag this bitch out. Don't just be comfortable on the feet. Aspinall is a cleaner and much quicker puncher. Power's about even, I'd say, like you said, it's heavyweight. I don't think Curtis Blades is going to get submitted. He just, like you said, he just fought Almeida. I would take the risk on the ground against Aspinall if I were Blades. Take the risk. Believe in
Definitely.
that wrestling. Smother him. But Aspinall just look. I have to pick Aspinall by KO probably. Clark, you have Aspinall Clark too?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys.
I'll be rooting for Blades.
My prediction, maybe Aspinall. Yeah, I could say by TKO, maybe round 3 or so. I'm hoping it goes that long, but I think that the longer this fight goes, it might like start to favor Curtis Blades a little bit if they're both gassed. So I don't know. We'll see. I just feel like I haven't seen Aspinall in deep waters, honestly. But that's like a testament to him finishing his fights pretty quick. But I don't know, man. Before I think you can fight John Jones, like I gotta see if you're a you're a first round warrior. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, I do think Aspinall will win, but I do believe this will be a competitive fight. I don't think someone's just going to get slumped in the first round. I think this will go a couple rounds. I think it'll be much more competitive than the Pavlovich fight.
I agree. Clearly, Pavlovich only has one mode, which is like walk forward and land a power shot. Like he doesn't have a plan B, obviously, or he would have used that shit in his last fucking fight. Like he's kind of exposed as a fraud.
Roll call, baby.
Welcome. All right, but the boys across the pond, the guys from England, are 2-0 so far. Let's move down the card. We got another guy from England, Paddy Pimblett versus Bobby Green, King Green. Pretty sure he just changed his name. Classic striker versus grappler. That's the way I'm looking at this. And this time I'm going to favor the grappler, man. I think Paddy Pimblett gets a decision, a unanimous decision. That is my prediction.
I don't expect that.
I'm not gonna lie. Emotionally, I'm gonna pick Paddy just because I think that I agree with you. If this fight hits the ground for an extended period, I think his jujitsu is like far superior. And honestly, it's Paddy's best weapon. I don't even know if like the general public like realizes that because he likes to stand and bang sometimes, but like he's actually like a pretty good jujitsu merchant. So I think that he could easily, not easily, but I think he could sub up Bobby Green on the ground or just like ground and pound him if he can get it there without eating too much damage. Like, but on the feet, I think that Bobby Green has the potential to possibly knock Paddy out, depending on what shots he's catching him with. But I'm gonna go on a whim, out on a whim here and say that like, Paddy gets it done for the England fans, you know what I mean? And everyone goes home happy here, but don't think that like I think that Bobby Green is the favorite for a good reason here.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I would say my issue with this is Fatty has proven to have kind of a suspect chin.
Yes.
And if this stays on the feet long enough that I think it would, that he could get tagged there. Bobby Green is not the hardest puncher though. Like Grant Dawson, why he went out in 40 seconds, I will never know. That's crazy.
No one saw that coming.
But Paddy does like to keep his chin high, and I'm kind of worried about that.
And it's very concerning. I am slightly. I would lean Paddy very slightly because of the wrestling, but that is basically it. Because on the feed, if this is on the feed the whole time, Bobby Green will win decision.
Yeah,
13
definitely.
by the end, because Paddy does like to push it. Like I think it'll be a very good fight. I think there's definitely gonna be some good action. I think Petty slightly he might get a sub for sure. I think a sub second round.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't see Piblin taking the risk on the feet against Green. He wrestle fucked Tony Ferguson, so like why would he not wrestle fuck Green?
honestly.
All right, though. Let's keep on going, guys. Let's move on to the flyweight division. We got Makaya versus Cape. Clark, why don't you lead us through this one? What does this fight mean for for the division?
I think winner gets the next title shot.
Okay.
I would say maybe they're planning on Albot, but I think he might be hurt still. I'm not sure, but
Haven't heard shit from him.
I would say the winner of this fight's getting the title shot. That's what I would say. And it's a very interesting fight, no doubt about it. I think it could kind of go either way. I think they're pretty evenly matched, but I would slightly lean Cave. And the reason being, I think, is he's very athletic compared to Mokaev. I think he's very explosive and can get his shots off faster in this fight. I think this mainly is on the feet. I do think Mokaev might get it down once or twice, but I think Cabe has the capabilities to get back up. Abe almost beat Pantoja when he first came to the UFC. I think he's always been kind of the man to like be the future champ. I think Mokaev's a good fighter, but I think the Perez fight showed weaknesses, and I think Cave's a very capable fighter to win this. But it is a toss up, I would say. I wouldn't be shocked if Mokaev would, like I think it's a very toss up fight, but I
Yeah.
would lean Cave.
It's literally a toss up. It's split down the middle at -110. What are you
I would
thinking?
lean Cave, especially at plus 100. He plus 100 right now.
Oh, okay. Let's just look at the website.
I think that Makayev is a dog in this fucking division, man. Classic Russian, grapple heavy fighter. And I think he's probably 24 by now, but he was only 22, 23 before. So
He's 20.
this is very much a young man, still not even in his prime yet. We have to take that into account here. And I do think Cape is in his prime right now. I see this fight kind of playing out two ways. I don't see Makayev having too much success on the feet unless he lands like some big shot. I think that if it's on the feet for a sustained period or like for most of the fight, I see Cape winning a competitive decision. But I think that if Makayev can ground him in round one and kind of hold him there and sap on that gas tank a little bit to where like he can at least like have top control for 2 rounds of the fight, I think that he can eke out a decision here. So I'm guessing like you said, Clark, Cape is definitely athletic and he should be able to defend some of the takedowns. Like Makayev has been shown like he chain wrestles and he'll eventually get people down, but it's not like his first takedown's always like 100% like gonna land. So I think that the first like couple takedowns will tell me how the fight's gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead. I guess I'll just pick against you. I'll go with Makayev, even though I
It could be
kind of think that Cape is gonna win, just because
it,
I think that he's a little more in his prime right now. But I think Makayev could match up really well against Pantoja, who like likes to grapple and gasses out hella. So I'm just gonna go ahead and ride with Makayev here.
yeah. Hey man, it's a coin flip, honestly.
Very
I
tough.
I think winner beats Pantoja, by the way.
I agree.
I also agree with that take. And I would pick both these guys to beat Albazi also.
I would agree.
What about Urzik though? Versus these two.
He might beat Mokaev. I think he loses to Cape.
Alrighty, guys. Last fight of the main card. We got. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Who do you think was gonna win this fight? Cape?
Oh no, I'm gonna actually. I forgot to say. I'm gonna ever so slightly lean Makayev.
Yes, sir.
I just see him pulling out literally exactly what you said, Xavier. He's gonna have control for 2 rounds. It's gonna be close on the feet. Cape's gonna get the better of him barely. I think. I think it's gonna be close on the feet also, but I think Makayev irks out a classic Dagestani wrestling 2-1 decision.
Yes,
I love Cape though. Base Cape. Alrighty. Let's move on to the opener. Oh, go ahead, Clark. Sorry.
No.
All right, but well, Clark, one of your boys is opening the card for us. We got Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikazi. Before we get into the fight, where are you guys where are you guys at with Giga? Because I feel like a year or 2 years ago, I was looking at this guy as like maybe a future top 5 champ.
I'm not thinking that right now. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to call him washed. I think he's kind of settled into like gatekeeper status at this stage in his career.
He's 35.
I feel like he can definitely beat anyone who will like let him land his heavy shots, but I feel like any movement based fighters with good movement, slick boxing, slick striking, I don't think that he's gonna win. I can see Arnold Allen honestly eking this out. I'm not like super high on Arnold Allen, like as high as I am on like other contenders in like the number 6 rank. I think he's like number 6, right? Yeah, I think he's number 6. Like, I feel like the number 6 in other divisions is stronger than Arnold Allen, if that makes sense. What I'm saying. But he should have enough to beat Giga here, especially with the fans too. Like, yeah, I can see him beating Giga.
Yeah, all of like the close fights that Allen has lost recently, they've been very close.
Good fights
versus Holloway and Evolve. So yeah, I'm gonna rock with Allen also
I feel like Giga is definitely a step down from those two,
for sure, and
especially now at this point in his career.
any TKO'd Cater. Clark, spit it, bro. Let's hear what you feel about your boy. Spit some heat.
I think he's gonna win. Probably decision, maybe. I feel like as long as he's confident, like in these losses, like against Max and Evilov, I really felt like he could have won those fights. Like, I think he has the talent to win these fights. I think he just like steps off the gas pedal sometimes and like just should go for it more. Because he was like rounds away from winning those fights. Like, easily, I think.
Yeah.
So I think he's just more talented than Giga. Giga's 35, so he old at this point. It's over. Probably decision, I'd say here.
Okay.
Probably on the feet for the most part, but I could see Arnold easily getting some takedowns as well.
I definitely feel like the fact that it's a 3-rounder helps Arnold Allen. Like, not against like Giga, because I think that Giga will gas out too. But I think that against like higher level comp, I think that Arnold Allen kind of falls apart the later fights go a little bit. I think that early, if in like 3-rounders, he has a good chance.
Yeah. I forgot. Wait, what were your guys' picks for the Piblin and Green fight?
I took Petty.
I think we all took Patty, right?
Yeah,
Clark?
I did.
Okay, so literally the only fight we disagree on is Clark taking Cape over Makayev. So other than that, we're pretty much all on the same page. Really quickly, guys, give me who do you think will get the performance of the night and what will be fight of the night?
Fight of the night, I can really see being I could really just see like Makayev Cape being fight of the night.
That'd be a fire fight. I can see that.
Especially with like given the stakes, I feel like that's the most like unpredictable 50-50 fight on the card.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you, Clark?
I think fight of the night, Bobby Green and Patty.
Performance bonus, I'm gonna go Leon probably.
Yeah, probably
I think he might make this look a little easy, to be honest.
Leon or Tom.
All right, well, that wraps up. That concludes the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please check out our other outlets. Check out the TikTok. We're gonna have some shorts coming up soon. We're gonna have some more unique videos coming out since there's no cards. Thank you guys for giving us your time of the day, and we'll see you.
Peace.
Good stuff, boys.